So finally got up and running, but here we are in the Shooter Pool public beta. We have a few guys in a room here. We've got Dennis 1984, Fluke, Stwayne Kubrick and Nobby. They're all playing, no, I think it's 8-ball they're playing. And we've got one spectator who is me down at the bottom there, and the room is set for a maximum of 4 players. And this isn't a sort of challenge room, it's actually just a normal room, but they're only setting it to 1 rack. And well, it's 10-ball, or is it 10-ball, or is it 8-ball? Soft break. Now this is a fixed camera that's in the game. There's a few fixed cameras, and if I hit the L button on the keypad, it'll take you through those. You go to the opposite end of the table, you do another one that gives you the overhead, and you do another one, then you get the free camera where you can just turn using your mouse. Now I've also got it set so that if I use the V button and the mouse, I can then roam around the table. Now you see, when you have the room backgrounds on, this is the annoying thing about not only this game but Virtual Pool 4, is that when you have the backgrounds on, the zoom out goes far too far. You go behind the walls and behind the furniture that's round about the room. So you have to stay within a set range, or else you're looking at the back of a wall. You can see the corner brasses on those tables. Table looks nice. That's an ugly picture that's behind me there, I'll tell you. And you can see it's auto-nominate for pockets, so if you're shooting at a ball, you'll notice that the little triangle comes up on the nearest pocket that it assumes that you're going to be aiming for. You can override that by hitting the N button to nominate the ball and the pocket if it's something that's going a little bit more obscure than what the game thinks. So you've always got to be wary of that. So whatever ball you aim at, the game will automatically choose the most likely pocket that you're going to try and shoot it in. And if you're not paying attention, it can go into the wrong pocket. Now, so far today, for example, in this game, there has been one main update, which the update and the fixes have been listed on the forum for Shooters Pool under the beta testing section. But even since that update was done, there's been another 2 small updates, although there's no further information on it. They did an update on Snooker today, which I would admit is actually improved the break-off in the game, in Snooker that is specifically. You found it very difficult to do a conventional break-off shot in Snooker, but since they've done the update and after 1 or 2 tries, you can find what would resemble a standard break in Snooker. Let's just go to the sort of standard TV camera. Now when it's on these fixed cameras, you can't move around the table. And you can also hit the enter button to bring up the chat at the bottom of the screen, and you can see the chaps are chatting to one another. and I'll just tell them that they're on my YouTube channel. And we'll just record for a little while, for as long as maybe a little bit less than these guys maybe want to play on. We've now lost a player. We're now down to 3 players. That's 3 players, then myself as a spectator. And I've told them the wrong bloody channel. I think, you know, first opinions on this game, even in the alpha version, I thought the game physics in the pool looked pretty good. I would say that they still are. They're certainly more than comparable to the sort of benchmark game that you would like to compare it with, which is Virtual Pool 4. This game by no means is anywhere near the sort of polished article that Virtual Pool 4 is, but it's getting there. And there's even guys in this room tonight are asking when's the game, any idea when this game's going to go public. Well, it's public in terms of that it's public beta, but in terms of being a game ready for release, then this is nowhere near ready for public release yet. There's still far too many bugs need ironed out in the game. I've also read on the forum that the developers are working on tighter pockets for the game. As you can see, the pockets on this table are, I think they're 4.5 inches. I think that's what he said, which was a sort of standard, but they are fairly generous. I was going to ask them a question, but I think if I just look, I'll find out. I think we've maybe lost a connection there, or somebody's taking a break or something. Oh no, we're back up to 4. Well, it's all frozen in my end, so I don't know what's happening. I never read the chat, so I don't know whether one of them's gone away to take a toilet break or something. Now if you hit the C button, that'll bring up the scoreboard at the top of the screen. So you get Fluke playing Dennis, and Dennis has just broken off, and you'll see the arrows pointing towards his name at the top of the screen there. So he was in play. He's broke off. So Fluke's at the table. And clearly we're playing 8 ball, because he's on a stripe, and in it goes. Probably the 13 ball next. I don't know whether you can see the 14, but 13 looks favourite. And up at that end you've also got the 9 ball right in the middle of the table, which is landed on. And that 11 ball in the bottom left hand corner here, the stripe in between the 3 ball and what looks to be the 8 ball, that's going to go into an open pocket. It will go past the 1 ball. And I can see that I'm not getting any, there's no synchronization problems with these 4 guys in the room, including myself. Everything's running very smooth. And it's streaming pretty well to Twitch also. Now this could be a run out here. A strong chance he's going to scratch. Oh, that's disaster. But well, Dennis has got his work cut out, because he's on the solids. You can see he's going to have to work here with the 3 ball and the 1 ball. You think he's going to try and get it direct, but he's going to draw back probably into that 3. Well, he's managed to draw back clean. And we'll see how far he can manoeuvre himself around the table, because all these balls, again, I say it time and time again, they're all sitting in the open. And that was a bad miss. Missed that by quite a margin. And Fluke comes to the table. He's got just 2 of his stripe balls left. The 11 ball's going to be the first one to go. And if he avoids colliding with the 8 ball and what looks to be the 4 ball on the bottom rail here, he should be able to get out for a shot in the 15. Well, he's hit that soft. He's nudged the 4, so now he's left with a straight 15 ball, and he can draw back into the 4, which should hold him for the 8. He didn't need to do it. Just stopped it dead. A nice little potting angle in the 8. And in it goes. So next in the queue is going to be Nobby from Germany against Fluke from Finland. And it's Nobby to break. Now a couple of balls have gone down, but the table will remain open until a player pots a ball, and then his set of balls will be nominated for him. So as it is, the table's open. Looks to be the stripes. Well, his problem ball's going to be the 9. It's on the right hand side, guarded by those 2 solids. There is a path to it, but it's a bit of a narrow window to get into it. And he does have a chance here if he can cut this 15 in. I don't know whether he's got the angle to run over. Well, he has, and he's nudged into the 9. I don't know whether that will go into the middle. Whether it squeezes past that 2 ball, it looks tight. So we've got Fluke at the table. He's on the solids. And of course there's nothing up in the scoreboard at the top of the screen to confirm that to a spectator. You've really just got to look at the table and see where the little cursor goes, what ball it's actually on, and that will show you what ball has been nominated. So the cursor will only go above the nominated set of balls, which in this case for Fluke is the solids. So his, after this 5 ball, his 3 remaining balls, and well, that and plus the 8 ball, they're all sitting wide open. So next one will be the 2 into the middle. Now he looks as if he's got slightly the wrong angle here, but he can probably just come off the rail and back out for the 6. Unless he wants to try and do something elaborate. Well, he's left it a wee bit short, and again he's got the wrong angle to get down for that 4 ball. Might be able to run into the 13, sorry, the orange one, and he's just edged it. And now he's going to be queuing over. But you can actually stun in behind the 8 ball here, or draw it across, one of the two, and probably end up taking the 8 ball down into the bottom pocket here, bottom right. Well, he's overdone that by quite a margin. Bit too much beef into that. So he's got a nasty cut down the rail. But say these pockets are fairly generous, so that's going to go in no problem. That was a nice out. And so up next is another German, Dennis. Well, we've got a bit of work here to do. I think he's going to choose the solids. And now if that's a 4 ball that's on the right hand side there that he's going for, so it'll be that, then the 1 ball next, I would think. But the problem there is that the 8 ball, which is next to the 1 ball, is blocking the path for that 7 ball, which is between the 8 and the 9 ball. So he's only going to come directly back here into the heart of the table. Well, I think he played for the 5, but again he got a bit too much juice into that. So now he's got nothing on. This left hand corner pocket's blocked. Now, well, that's is that the 5 ball he's going for? Hard to tell. Oh, it's a 3. 5 balls in the rail. He's tried to squeeze it in. He's nudged it in off the 14. But now he's got no shot in the 5, and he can only play the 7 ball, and he's going to have difficulty in leaving this safe. Well, the 7 ball, I think. Let's have a look. We'll go to the manual camera. 7 ball goes past up there. You can see there's plenty of room for it to go past. I think that's a 12 ball. Yeah, that's a 12. And And another tough one down the rail, unless he wants to go for the 10 up in the top right hand corner. But that 11 is going to have to go at some point. Now, I don't think there's anything. Well, somebody's disconnected. Whenever there's a disconnection in the game, you get the message controls locked at the middle of the screen, so you can't do anything until that person rejoins. And we're back in play. Well, I would suggest the 9 ball would be the one to go for, because the cue ball is going to come back out into the middle of the table. And if he doesn't hit it too hard, he should have that 14 ball into the top right, or maybe even the 9 into this bottom right. Not the 9, the 13. But it looks as if he's chosen the 13. This is a tough one. So was the 9 ball as well, but he's undercut it. And now that's given Fluke a chance here. If Fluke can just cut the 5 along the rail, quite gentle, he could leave a shot on this 7. And he's sitting perfectly straight on this 7 ball. He's going to have to do a bit of magic with the cue ball here to get the cue ball up the table and out for a shot in this 8 ball. But there's plenty of room to do it. A fair bit of force needed. And the big draw shot. And again a fairly simple cut down the rail to win the rack. So now we have Stwayne Kubrick at the table from France. And it's Stwayne to break off. And again a couple of balls have gone in. Well, 3 balls have gone in at least. And the cue ball's finished in the top rail. And it looks strong odds that he's going to be taking these stripes. Well, he's not looked at the 13 ball, that's right next to him. I don't think he's seen it. It looks as if he's going to play the 4 ball. Well, that wasn't the best of shots. He's left a thin cut in the 5 ball into the right middle. Now, yeah, it's now chosen the pocket. Maybe he had to nominate it, I don't know. And now he's a bit in no man's land here. He's only got the... Well, we've lost another player again. Somebody's having connection problems. Well, it could be connection problems, but it also could be a game crash. It's difficult to tell unless the player comes back and informs us that it's a crash. But you can see that there's latency problems maybe for some players, or there's crashing problems, and this is principally why this game is not ready for release. All of these little incidents need to be ironed out. And looking at the text there, Stuart Kubrick says he crashed. Probably got some sort of error message come up on the screen while that happened. And he was way off the mark with that one. So now Fluke is on the stripes. Now you see in the left hand side of the screen, in the middle of the screen on the left hand side, it says safety. Now when you're at the table, should you wish to play a safety, the safety tab on the left hand side of the screen will tell you to press F1 to choose the safety option. You notice as well that there's the shot clock on the left hand side that appears, and also the extension information. All of that is far too small for my liking. That needs to be increased in size. My eyesight finds that quite difficult to see. But meanwhile, we've got Fluke at the table. Looking at the 10 ball, I'm assuming you can see enough of it. Again, with this fixed camera position, it's difficult. Well, I'm pretty certain he can't see all of the 12. And that's his last ball before the 8 ball. So he's maybe looking at a kick, or he's going to try and line up a jump shot. And we'll see how well he can execute a jump shot in this game. Well, he got the jump, got the hit, but didn't get any joy. So now we've got Stuart back at the table on the solids. And a wide open table. But again, not a great shot. He's in the middle of no man's land, so all he's left now is a cut on this one ball, because those two balls are blocking one another. And he's played it into the rail, but look at where Fluke's last ball is. It's perfectly safe in that top rail. So there's nothing doing there. And now we're on the opposite camera. Now he looks there that he's nominated that pocket up where his cue is, so it's like a reverse bank. And that looks pretty good. Unfortunately, he's scratched. That's a good effort, but he's lost the cue ball. So a good attempt there by Fluke has been scuppered by the scratch. Now this time Stuart's again the wrong side of the 6 ball, and the cue ball's going to be running, and he needs a lot more into it than that. I think he's left that fairly short, so again he's got one of those little awkward cuts, but as I say, these pockets are generous enough to be able to pot this fairly easily, I would imagine. And he's killed the pace on it, and a relatively straightforward 8 ball to follow. So now we have just got Fluke and Stuart left in the room. The rest of the players have taken their leave. Right, now, I think we've still got an open table, it looks like it. Well, 14's gone in, and Strain's left with an awkward cut on the 9, I think. I think he can cut that 11 ball along the rail as well, past the 7. Now, that he's up at the top end of the table, but if he looks at the 13 ball and looks where that 10 ball is, if he pots the 13, he can possibly get the cue ball out far enough to play that awkward 10 ball into the right middle. He's not looked at it, but certainly the 10 ball does go, but there's only a certain position the cue ball can be in. Now this is an opportunity to do that now. From this 13 ball, he can bounce off that left rail and come across, but he's playing draw on it. Now once again he's got an angle, and he needs to be thinking about that 10 ball, and he can get down behind the 10 ball off this 15. Well, you can see that well, he's not thinking. He's not thinking there, because he played out with far too much power. He was looking to get up for the 9 for some strange reason, I presume. And now he's got no shot. But the shot was there to drop behind that 10 ball to take it into the right middle. Oh, he's managed to jump from that distance, hit the object ball, and the 2 balls went off the table. So it's ball in hand to Fluke, and Fluke is on the solids. He's got 3 in a cluster here, so he's going to have to do something about that. He might want to leave an angle on the 4 ball if he pots it in the right middle, and they can split those two, open them up a wee bit. And Strain Kubrick's last strike ball is on the right hand rail, so I would imagine Fluke would be able to do a fair bit of damage here. And a nice little nudge on the 5, that comes in handy. Now again, you're looking at what the easiest path to go is. Now this 5 ball, he's looking to play it long, and he certainly doesn't want to follow through, because he could go in off into the right middle, and he's just sort of killed the cue ball. So again, he's in a no man's land situation here. So it's a 7 ball into the top left or the left middle, but it looks like he's nominated the top left. That's going to get there, I think. Oh no, just caught the jaw. And again now, Strain's got a choice to make, and try the reverse bank into this left middle. I don't think there's any way that's cutting down the rail to that top right hand pocket, but it looks like that's the one he's chose. Very, very thin cut, and chances are he could scratch off this anyway. In fact, it was so thin he missed it. So once again, Fluke's got another chance to clear up. And now, if he takes this 6 ball and rolls it in gently, he could get the cue ball over into the left rail. Now what the hell's he doing here? I don't know what happened there. I ain't got a clue what went on there, but right. Well, he's just running a bit too far there. Still cut this. The cue ball's going to have to go off the left rail, over the right rail and back out for the 8 ball. You don't want to do anything and try and do anything too much here. You just need to use the weight of the cue ball off the 2 rails. Well, he's overcut it. And this time Swain can get a good edge on this. What the hell ball is that? The 12, is it? I think it was a 10 ball. And he's going to scratch. Oh dear. So ball in hand to fluke. In goes the 9 and a simple roll in the 8. And I think with that, we will conclude our little short live stream of the Shooters Pool Beta. We'll look forward to some more of this in the future. So with that, folks, we will see you again sometime.